My name is Professor Magdalene. I'm a professor of sociology. I lecture at the University of Abuja. In this program, I am a member of the Management and Development Committee of the PCVE-KIRH. The summit, the National Summit on PCVE, a summit that brings together practitioners from all over the country, especially those who are interested in issues around preventing and countering terrorism, those who are security experts, those state governments and the academia, researchers, and all those who are interested in issues around security and preventing and countering terrorism in Nigeria and the Sahel. Now, from the theme, which is evolving issues on PCV in Nigeria and emerging issues in Nigeria and the Sahel. You can see from all the discussions that have gone on through in the past 3 days about emerging challenges, when it comes to insecurity in Nigeria and the Sahel region. We've seen how it's beginning to move from terrorism to banditry to kidnappings to cultism and all sorts of activities. So it is becoming a major issue that government and indeed all stakeholders need to pay attention to. Some of the issues stem from things like land struggles, chieftaincy titles, religious conflicts, and all of that. So it's important because these are emerging issues for which government and CSOs didn't pay attention to. So it's time that they begin to pay attention to these issues before they become, too big for the country to handle. Okay, now the PCVE-KIRH is a hub for knowledge. It's a hub for gathering knowledge and then more like getting all the information that is needed for whoever might want to, consult that hub for whatever information that you need. So it will require a lot of research, which has already started. In the last how many months, they commissioned researches in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, which are going to be uploaded in that hub for future reference. Those who might want to do research around the issues that can go there to get the needed resources that they want to use for their own work or for their own researches. So it's going to be very vital, not only for researchers, but for those who are practitioners, for students, for scholars in the area of security, who will require this information, from time to time. And then it's going to also serve as a hub for training of those who want to go into security practice, and so on. So it's a very important hub because, as the name goes, knowledge, innovation, and research hub, everything that revolves around security, will be harnessed and deposited in that hub so that those who need it can always go there to get the information. They said when you don't know where you're coming from, you won't know where you're going to. So if you have this information, this repository of knowledge around what has been done so far in the area of PCVE, what is currently being done, and what is expected to be done in the near future, it becomes a lot more difficult for you to know, to navigate the trajectory. So it's important that this information is gathered and kept somewhere. So for whoever is going to come, the next 100 years, it's going to be there because it's digital, so you can always access it at any point in time. So it's going to be there for anybody who is going to come anytime in the nearest future to, require this information, because they can always go there to get information. Yeah, it's going to be, I think there's a section of it that is going to be, academic section of it is going to be open access, meaning that anybody can access that information and use it for whatever purpose. Yeah, so for the purpose of the fight against violent extremism, practitioners will want to know what has been done. Okay, practitioners will want to know the tools that were adopted in doing what they did at the time. They will want to understand the contributions of government, and every other stakeholder. What have they done so far? Where are we in the struggle, and where do we hope to go to? And so that will, guide them or provide a platform for them to know exactly where to go and how to chart their own course. In my own word, resilience will mean standing strong. Resilience will mean bringing people together, drawing all the forces together that you need to, draw or pull together as much as possible to ensure that you stand against something that is coming up against you. So ensuring that you build the kind of resilience that you need to fight against violent extremism, for example, will mean that you need to pool as many resources. And when I mean resources, I'm not just talking about money or funds. Pool as many persons, as many interest groups, as many stakeholders, as many participants as possible, to understand what it means to stand strong, to stand against what is coming up against you. And in this sense, communities that have been attacked or have been under constant attacks by violence, by terrorists, bandits, and all of that, will need to really come together. There's a need for synergy. There's a need for re-strategizing. This is not just at individual level, because only one individual cannot do it. One individual can't do it. So it will require that different groups in the communities will come together. The communities themselves will have to come together, and then the states will have to come together for them to be able to achieve community resilience. I think at the moment we are doing so much in the sense that, okay, I think it's recently that we are beginning to, for instance, open up to researches, because you really cannot do a lot if you don't have information. So we are beginning to open up to researches which will form the backbone of the knowledge that you need to forge ahead. But that being said, it is important also that the advocacy that we are doing should not stop, because most of those who get involved in all of these activities will tell you that they really didn't know what they were doing. Okay, so it is important that advocacy does not stop. The communities will constantly be engaged, because they are the ones who basically, they are the major victims of all of the crisis. So we constantly engage the communities to ensure that they are able to come together to build the kind of resilience that they need. Information gathering is key. Intelligence is also very important, because for the security enforcement to be able to act, they will need a lot of intelligence, meaning that the communities will need to cooperate and work together with security agencies to be able to address this particular issue. So a lot still needs to be done. Now, beyond all of this, the young people who are the major actors, because they are the ones who are recruited into these extremist groups. They are the ones who are used to go to fight or to kidnap or to kill, as the case may be. They are the ones whom they use for all of the negative things. There's a need for proper education of the young people. And when we say education, sometimes it sounds very generic. But you see, because we have failed in adequately providing education at the lower level, you find people who feel abandoned, who feel government didn't do enough for them. And so the only option that is available to them is the group that has come to offer them whatever they offer. Because right now, kidnapping is beginning to look like a business. So the person who never earned 10,000 before successfully kidnaps one person, and they pay them, let's say, 10 million naira. And out of the 10 million, his own share is, for example, 1 million. He has never seen 10 million naira. What does that mean? That means that overnight, he became a millionaire from doing the wrong thing. So he will want to continue. For us to get them to stop, we need to provide alternatives to what they are doing, meaning that we will not only give them education that is sound, that will build their capacity to be able to stand on their own and resist all attempts to recruit them. We will also have to provide skills. We will also have to provide employment. We will also have to focus on development of the local communities. Development should not just end in the cities. If, for example, you have all the things we have in the cities in the rural communities, most of them will not want, they will be gainfully employed, and so will not want to be recruited into any organization that will keep you in the bush. How do you feel staying in the bush for so long, just because that's the only way you can hide from the crimes that you have committed. So we need to still do a lot more, like I have listed, so that we can actually take on this challenge headlong. The message is that as many people as want to be involved, they should come, because it's not restricted to a particular group of people. Insecurity is a problem that is affecting every one of us. And like we say, security is every man's business, all of us. So as many people as want to be advocates, as want to be practitioners, that want to be, be involved in the entire process of the fight against violent extremism, they should come as parents, because you can start as a parent to talk to your children, educate them on the need why they should not go into any kind of violent activity, whether as in their homes or in their schools or in any other thing that they are doing. So it is important that if you want to come, if you're interested, if that's where you feel that you feel a sense of calling to want to do it, come. It's open. Everybody can be. You can form your small group within your community, within your neighborhood, and then start using that platform to talk to young people around. I mean, even in the kind of lifestyle that young people are living, drug addiction, everything is just not right at the moment. So we need a lot of people to be involved so as to be able to conquer this challenge. It is really a big problem, because when you walk down, just take a walk on the streets, you can see as many young people that are not looking normal. So many of them not looking normal, either because they have taken one substance or the other. And so the effort to address or to manage this issue will not just take one group, say PAVE network. It will require a lot of people, coming together to, push this fight, and then see where it takes us to. Hopefully, someday we get to where we will say, okay, yeah, we have finally achieved what we actually wanted to achieve.